Hello, welcome to this class, My Mathematicians. This is Mr. Harrison. You're going to be learning about lengths and Pythagoras theorem. So, first of all, what is length? Okay, length is a measurement which identifies the distance between 2 points. It also measures how long an object is, how high an object is, and how wide an object is. So it talks about length, talks about the length of an object, its height, and its weight. Now, the metric systems, the units used for measurement of length. Now, based on the metric systems, the standard unit of measuring length is meters, which is represented by letter M. Now, here are some few most common units used in measuring length. The kilometer. The kilometer is equivalent to 1,000 meters. So, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. And this centimeter. This centimeter is what? 1 meters is equivalent to 100 centimeters. And a centimeter is equivalent to 10 millimeters. Also, 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. Let us look at some examples. We're going to express this in meters and in centimeters. It is already in centimeter. We're going to be expressing it in meters and centimeters. Let's look at the solution. First question is 329 centimeter. Now, if we break it down, we now have 329, which is 300 centimeters and 29 centimeters. Since 100 centimeters is equal to 1 meter, so 300 centimeters will be equivalent to 3 meters. So, we now have 3 meters and 29 centimeters. Next question, 1,076 centimeters. 1,076 is what? 1,076. Remember, 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So, 1,000 centimeters will be what? 10 meters. So, we now have what? 10 meters and 76 centimeters. Let's look at another example. Express 12 kilometers. 370 meters in meters. Meaning express this only in meters. Let's look at the solution. 12 kilometers, if broken down, is what? 12 kilometers plus 370 meters. So, this is now 12,000 meters. While 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So, 12 kilometers will be what? 12,000 meters. And this is plus 370 meters. This gives us 12,370 meters. Hope you get the picture. Right? Good. Now, to our next subtopic, which is the Pythagoras or Pythagorean Theorem. Now, this theorem is very important in solving mathematics, which it explains the relation between the sides of a right-angled triangle. So, Pythagoras theorem is basically used to find the length of an unknown side and also an angle of a triangle. This being the right-angled triangle. Now, what is this Pythagoras theorem statement? Now, it states that in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse sides equal to the sum of squares of the other two sides. the hypotenuse is the longest side. So it says that this is the hypotenuse, which is C. It says that the sum of the square of this C equals the sum of the square of A and B. In this statement we have here, considering A is a perpendicular, this is the perpendicular, C, B is the base, and C being the longest side is the hypotenuse. According to this theorem, it states that hypotenuse squared is equals to perpendicular squared plus base squared, which is C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Now let's look at some examples. Now, based on the statement given above, let's consider a right angle triangle given below. This is a right angle triangle. Remember, C is the perpendicular and 6 is the perpendicular, 8 is the what? Base, x being the hypotenuse, which is the unknown. So using Pythagoras theorem, we have to find x, which is the unknown, which is the hypotenuse. So from the formula, hypotenuse squared equals base squared plus perpendicular squared, which is what? 8 squared plus 6 squared. 8 squared is what? 64, and 6 squared is 36. If added, gives 100. We are looking for x, not x squared. So find the square root of both sides, or simply what is the square root of 100? That is 10. So therefore, the value of x is 10. Let's look at another example. If the two sides of a right angle triangle are given, as shown here, we have to find the third side, which is B. What are the two sides given? The hypotenuse and the perpendicular. We are now looking for the base. Using Pythagoras theorem, we are given perpendicular and hypotenuse. Using this theorem, we have 15 squared plus b squared equals 17 squared. 15 squared is 15 times 15, which is 225, plus b squared, 17 times itself is 289. So taking like terms, we have 289 minus 225, and that gives us 64. So b would be the square root of 64, which is 8. So therefore, the third side is 8 centimeters. Last but not the least, the sides of a triangle are 5, 12, and 13 units. Now, let us check if this has a right angle or not. Let us check if it obeys Pythagoras theorem. Now, from Pythagoras theorem, we have perpendicular squared plus base squared equals hypotenuse squared. Let us take the perpendiculars and base as what? 5 and 12. And the hypotenuse being 13, since it is the longest side, right? It is always longest and bigger. So 12 squared plus 5 squared should be equal to 13 squared, if this obeys Pythagoras theorem. What is 12 squared? 144. What is 5 squared? 25. So 100. What is 13 squared? 169. So if we add 144 plus 25, if it equals 169, therefore this is a Pythagorean triple. That's what we call it. So are they equal? Yes. So the left hand side equals right hand side. So this, therefore, the opposite side to the 13 sides will be right angled. Hope you had fun in this class. Goodbye. See you in the next class.